Hey guys, it's Joel from guntoter.org. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the RDR gear mission-specific placard. For those of you who've been following this channel for a while, you know that I've been kind of doing a little bit of a series on some of the different micro platforms. Started with the Spiritus. I am now working on the RDR, and I hope to eventually work on the Haley micro if I can actually find it in stock. So, one of the reasons I like placards and kind of the micro concept is because it's so easy to customize, and you can change it to fit your mission. You can wear it on kit, you can wear it as its own chest rig. There's just a bunch of different things you can do with it, and they're really useful kit. It's really kind of the modernization of a lot of the evolution of the chest rig. So I really like these different micro rigs. I ordered the RDR for a couple reasons. One, I really wanted to compare it to the Spiritus, which I already had, and I could actually get it in the camo I needed to wear at work. So some good things about the RDR. First off, I've already done a video on the measurements, so I'm not going to really discuss the measurements per se here. If you want to go back and watch that video, please do. I give you the measurements of all the pockets and everything else. But I will say that, just kind of as a reminder, the RDR is bigger than the Spiritus Microfight. So has a little bit more capacity, but I kind of set it up very similar to my Spiritus, which you can watch that video where I talked about what I have in the Spiritus. And because it's bigger, things don't fit quite as tightly, quite as neatly. And I'll get to that more in a second. So it does take a little bit of adjustment. If you're going from the Spiritus to the RDR, it's going to be a little different. You're going to kind of have to play with things and kind of make sure that it's fitting your needs. It's a modular platform, much like the Spiritus is. So it comes, like this. It does not come with any of the side buckles. It only comes with the two top buckles. I have successfully tested this and integrated it onto both a Faro Concept Slickster and an Eagle Industry Mac R. So it does work on both of those. It also comes with a lot more accessories than the Spiritus does. So the RDR is $110, and the Spiritus in its most stripped down form is only $78.95. So off the top of your head, you're like, well, the Spiritus is less expensive. Well, the RDR comes with a rifle insert, which you can pick AK 7.62 by 51 or AR mags. So you get your choice of three. It also comes with a pistol insert, and it comes with two pocket flaps for the front pockets. So I went online, did the math, and if you were to buy this exact same kind of rig with all those accessories from Spiritus, it would actually end up costing you $167.75, not counting taxes and shipping. So you're actually coming out a little bit less expensive with the RDR. It seems to be a well-constructed product. There are a few little things that I will talk about here in a moment, but it does seem to be a well-constructed product. I have not had a chance to really beat it up yet. Had it on the range the other day, kind of messing with the configuration, making sure it worked with the rest of my kit, and it seems to work fine. Now, the one thing that's kind of odd that the Spiritus comes with that doesn't, which is not a big deal to me because of how I set up my gear, but it might annoy you a little bit. As I said, it doesn't come with the buckles, but it also doesn't come with anything to cover the hook on the back. So if you are intending to put this immediately on your kit, it's not a big deal. However, if you were planning on putting shoulder straps on this and wearing it as a chest rig, that's going to hurt. It's going to be really annoying, actually, especially if you're wearing it with a t-shirt. Maybe not so much if you got like a BDU shirt under it, but if you're wearing it with a t-shirt, that's probably going to start stinging after a bit. Now, with that said, as I mentioned in my Spiritus video, I actually prefer the Wild Bill Tactical mesh backer. So I've already ordered one of those. It's on the way, so I will have one of those available for this. But just to let you know, it's like one of those weird things that I don't understand why it doesn't come with it. It'd be really nice if it did, but it doesn't. So as far as the buckles go, that doesn't really super concern me because it's really easy to get the replacement buckles. They're inexpensive. I would recommend probably going through like Mil-Spec Monkey, for example. He's got a store. You can order all sorts of stuff, which is actually where I ordered the female ends that I use to integrate onto the Eagle Mac R. So, you know, it's available. They're pretty inexpensive. You're still going to come out ahead of the cost of the Spiritus. Now, one thing to keep in mind is this is RDR's Placard. They do have a chest rig. Chest rig is a little bit different. This one is probably actually closer to the Spiritus than the chest rig is. The chest rig has a larger, about a half an inch wider back strap. I don't know why they did that. That's what they did. But if you buy the Placard, you know, you can buy the buckles, and then you can use pretty much anybody's, you know, harness to go with this. So moving on, because I could kind of nitpick all day, but moving on. Some of the key features of this. Obviously, you have the main rear pouch. One of the big differences between this and the Spiritus is in the front, you have two separate pouches. This is, instead of the one big pouch that the Spiritus has, it's two separate pouches. Another thing is that the back pouch, you can actually completely close it. It has hook and loop set up so that if you wanted to use the back as an admin pouch, you can completely close it without any other accessories needed. Now, kind of the downside to that though is that it does make the back pouch a little bit taller, which makes some of the AR inserts, like the S-Tacs that I have in there right now, fit a little bit differently because they fit pretty much, they're the perfect height for the Spiritus. They're actually, there's a little bit of a fabric lip when you use them in the RDR. Now, with the S-Tacs, that's not a huge deal because the fact that, you know, they're Kydex, it keeps it open, and I don't think you're going to have an issue grabbing your mags and inserting your mags, but it's kind of something to be aware of. The front pouches, obviously the flap is removable, just like it would be with the Spiritus. And I've got pistol mags in here, and I've got my multi-tool and my flashlight in here. So for this particular setup, it actually kind of works out a little bit better than the Spiritus because the division and everything else, it works out well. One thing I will have to say that you know, it's kind of an overlooked thing in this, and it annoys me, is that when you look at the flaps, if you've ever messed with a Spiritus, their half flaps are designed to actually come from the back pouch and go over. These half flaps are designed to just attach within the front pouch and then come out. The downside to that, though, is that they did not cover the inside with any loop. For those of you who have messed with these types of pouches, you know where I'm going with this. When you stick this down in here, it takes about half the loop out of that pouch. So, for example, on this side, I used the same Mil-Spec Monkey pouches that I used in my Spiritus. I tried to move them over to here. Well, the downside of that is I can only get about half of the pouch to actually grip the loop on the inside of this front pouch. Now, I mean, I could reverse them and I could attach everything to the front loop and so on and so forth. But for whatever reason, that just annoys me that something that simple got missed. I would love to see them fix that. I do not think, just given the way their back pouch is designed, that they can do the come from the back over the front like Spiritus does. But I do think that it'd be very simple for them, you know, when they're sewing the hook on this side, just sew the loop on this side so that I actually have loop all the way up the back of the pouch. and I can stick more stuff in there. It just makes it more versatile. It's a very versatile, pouch in general, and it kind of, I don't know, kind of confuses me that they missed that part. Like, I don't know, maybe no one said anything to them, but that is probably my biggest pet peeve with this, is the fact that I've got 2 pouches in here that are only half attached because of what's essentially a design flaw. Now, if I am missing something in the design, hopefully someone will leave me a comment down below and tell me I am all sorts of, off the rails. If I am, that's cool. Explain it. I'll make a video, telling everybody I was wrong. I'm good with that. But yeah, that's just kind of a pet peeve of mine. Other than that, it actually seems like a pretty neat rig. I think it'll serve me well. Like I said, I've already integrated it onto 2 different plate carriers, and it's worked really well. For the money, you're getting a lot of stuff. You really are, a lot of accessories. And they're in more stock and more colors than Spiritus is. I love Spiritus. They have a well-deserved reputation for great products. But along with their well-deserved reputation for great products comes a well-deserved reputation for being out of stock on like everything. So the fact that RDR is a lot more in stock is kind of nice. I actually got mine, I think, within a week of ordering it. Now, I don't know if that's because they had already made a bunch of these AOR2s and I just got lucky, because I've talked to some other people who said they ordered like multicam, for example, and they've been waiting for a while, so I don't know if that's what it is. Kind of going back to setup, like I said, I put the S-Tacs in here like I did with my Spiritus. For those of you who will watch my video about my method of converting S-Tacs to fit into modular platforms like this, and then you've seen my video on the Wild Bill conversion that he makes. Because this pouch, this placard, is larger than the Spiritus. In the Spiritus, they all fit in pretty tightly, so my conversion method works pretty well. I think I would have to say that if you want your mag holders nice and tight together and really kind of neatly stacked in here, I would actually say that I would go with the Wild Bill over my version in this. I just think it's going to keep everything together better and kind of keep everything at the same height, where you're not sitting there messing around trying to do individual pouches. Everything's all nice and linked together. You can kind of insert it as one piece. So I've actually already ordered the Wild Bill conversion. They're selling now. They have it's a 2-pack, so I will use 1 pack to set the AR mags up, and I will use 1 pack to set up the pistol mags that I have up front. I normally don't carry pistol mags on my chest. I prefer to carry them on my belt, but according to policy, I have to have the pistol mags on my chest. Somebody said I have to, so apparently I have to. So I'm just gonna have to roll with that. But yeah, I think just when you're planning things out, if you're planning on using S-Tac in this, I would definitely go with the Wild Bill versus just running the 1 wrap on its own. Just because I think it's going to end up with a better fitment in the pouch. So that's the RDR gear. They do sell most of the same, or a lot of the same colors as Spiritus. They do have your M81. So for those of you who believe in the, I don't know whether it's everyone believes that the M81 is better, or everyone's just got a really retro vibe or a Marsoc hard-on. I don't know. But for all the people that love M81, they do sell it in M81. They also sell it in AOR1 and AOR2, obviously. And then, your standard colors and multicam and so on. So lots of different options. And, I don't think you'll be too disappointed if you know what you're going into and you have kind of evaluated that against what you need as far as equipment goes. So hope this was useful for you. Thanks a lot for watching. If it was useful, love for you to go down there and hit like and subscribe and all the fun buttons, get notifications and so on. If you'd like to share this, that would also be awesome. If you have questions, if you have comments, if you have used this and you think I missed something when I was talking about the setup, or maybe a benefit or a negative, please, in the comments, I do read them, I do respond to them, and when I learn from them. So when I read a comment from a viewer and someone asks a question later, I try to actually, carry that comment over and say, hey, well, I haven't done it, but I read comments from other guys who have, and here's what you might want to try. So trying to spread the knowledge, that's really what we're here for. If you would like to support us monetarily, that would be awesome. I do have a Patreon page, which is down in the links. The link to the RDR MSP will also be down in the links. If you cannot support us monetarily, I get that. It's a rough time, and you're probably having to think about where your money's going, and sending it to some random dude on YouTube may not seem like the greatest plan. But if you can support, that's awesome. If you can't support, I appreciate the likes, I appreciate the shares, I appreciate the comments and the chance to learn. So thanks again for watching. I know I said that before, but I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you again next time.